In the third quarter of 2017, broader equity markets increased in the mid-single-digit range, driven by solid corporate results and continued favorable interest rate environment. BB Biotech gained 11% in Swiss francs in the third quarter and 24% over the full year, outperforming the Nasdaq Biotech Index by almost 10%. Several factors drove favorable biotech performance during the third quarter. High revenue companies reported solid Q2 results. A significant number of products achieved regulatory approval, and progress was reported for a range of potentially valuable clinical candidates. We expect incremental changes in the US health environment. Affordable Care Act reform has been stalled, and pricing concerns are being managed carefully from all sides. Like others, we were encouraged with the appointment of Dr. Scott Gottlieb as FDA Commissioner, and we are not disturbed by the recent resignation of Gottlieb's superior, Tom Price, as HHS Secretary. The FDA has already approved more new drugs so far in 2017 than in all of 2016. Multiple pipeline events were reported in the third quarter. Alnylam, with its partner Sanofi, announced that patisiran met all the clinical endpoints in the trial and is planning to file a new drug application for the US in late 2017 and a market authorization application in Europe in early 2018. Vertex reported positive data from phase 1 and phase 2 studies of 3 investigational triple combination regimens for cystic fibrosis patients with one F508 deletion mutation and at least one other minimal or residual function mutation. By contrast, Sage Therapeutics reported failure of brexanolone in superrefractory status epilepticus. After the news, we reacquired shares at a lower price given our belief in the ultimate potential for brexanolone in postpartum depression. Celgene and partner Agios won US market approval for their IDH2 inhibitor, which will be marketed as Ataifa. The approval was granted based on extended phase 1-2 studies, which not only validated the efficacy and safety, but also demonstrated the FDA's increasing willingness to accelerate the approval of drugs for high unmet medical needs. Gilead Vozevi was approved by the FDA for treatment of adult chronic hepatitis C as pangenotypic salvage. This builds further on Gilead's leading franchise in HCV. Novo Nordisk Fiasp, a new fast-acting mealtime insulin, was also approved by the FDA. Further, if approved in late 2017, semaglutide will extend Novo Nordisk's GLP-1 franchise by a once-weekly subcutaneous option and allow them to compete effectively against Eli Lilly's Trulicity, against which semaglutide has shown superiority in a head-to-head study. Merger and acquisition activity in the biotech sector has been subdued so far in 2017. So Gilead's announced acquisition of Kite for $12 billion came as a pleasant surprise to equity markets and has encouraged the belief that there's more to come. We sold our entire holding in Kite into the announced transaction, generating approximately $124 million in cash and an overall profit of $75 million from the investment. Stocks of several other mid-cap oncology companies rallied on the news. Juno, the closest competitor to Kite, rose significantly, adding to our NAV performance in the third quarter. For the remainder of 2017, we are expecting FDA approval for semaglutide from Novo Nordisk for treating type 2 diabetes patients, and for the anti-CD19 CAR-T from Gilead Kite for lymphoma patients. On the clinical side, we await phase 3 data from Sage Therapeutics for brexanolone for treating postpartum depression, phase 3 data for Revlimid from Celgene in lymphoma patients, and phase 1-2 data from Agios for their IDH1 inhibitor in relapsed refractory AML patients. In addition, investors are focused on important ongoing commercial launches. Revenue growth of these drugs will drive profit forecasts and share price valuations for these companies. Overall, we believe that the encouraging progress in biotechnology during the first 9 months should continue in 2017 and into 2018. We look forward to more progress with exciting drug development programs, new approvals, and commercial progress of marketed products. BB Biotech's confidence and long-term commitment in the biotechnology sector remains strong.